most popular Hot Boys before he even released his first album. As the youngest member of the Cash Money Records camp, he was catching the ears of masses and catching the eyes of the teenage female young audience.
That's right, the frenzy ignited by his crew, not to mention the merits of his young appeal, were enough to boost his debut album to sales of more than 230,000 units in his first week alone. The Block is Hot eventually went platinum.
Now as he readies his newest single off his second album, Lil Wayne is preparing to come of age, spitting flames as usual. He's here today with BG, Baby, and Turk. Give it up for Lil Wayne, y'all.
Cash Money in the house. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
What it be? Young Weezy Wee, you know me, Beatrice son.
Okay. Beatrice son.
Lil Wayne, how's it been working on your second solo album?
I mean, it wasn't like I was working on it, you know. I just be working. So like we got like 4 albums already done.
Ooh.
We just put that one out because that's all we had to put out.
Alright.
Feel me?
So you just stay in the studio day in, day out.
It's like school.
I know that's right. So what else are y'all working on? What y'all got going on?
We got Lil Turk album about to come out like end of May.
Okay.
Mid-May you got Juvenile new album. We got an R&B group named Unplugged come out July the 10th when Juvenile.
Right.
And plus we just signed Mac 10, you know what I'm saying?
Did you?
Official, yeah.
Oh, congratulations, that's
official
big.
Cash Money Hot
That's
boy.
big, big, big.
So what's the story behind y'all? How did you all come about and start your whole camp?
I mean, you know, basically we all from Uptown, you know what I'm saying? And I had basically raised Lil Wayne and BG, you know what I'm saying? And Juve and Turk come after that, you know. So I've been with them two there like 10 years, you know, and Juve like 8, Turk like about the same time, and me and Fresh and them all us started this together. So it's been like a family thing. We've been together over a decade.
Wow.
Damn right, I kissed my daddy. I think they pissed that how rich my daddy.
Lil Wayne sued Birdman and Cash Money for $51 million. He was trying to get out of his contract as well. He also sued Universal Music for $40 million, saying he was owed royalties. So sued Universal Music for $40 million for Young Money artists. Well, according to court documents and The Blast, both of those disputes have been settled. It's an undisclosed amount. People are saying it's over $10 million.
Has to be.
It was paid for by Universal and not by Birdman himself.
So he getting his money then?
We don't know exactly how much it is. It's undisclosed.
Oh, the music industry. You think it's all private jets, red carpets, and Grammys, right? Wrong. Behind the glitz and glamour, there's a ton of mess. And I'm not talking about the outfit choices on the Met Gala carpet. Today we're going to be diving deep into the juicy, messy, soap opera level drama some of our faves and their record labels had. So today we're going to explore what happened with Lil Wayne, JoJo, and Kesha. And then I'm going to tell you why I theorize that Jay-Z and UMG are conspiring to take Drake down. Now listen, I'm not a Drake stan or a Glazer. Shout out to DJ Academics. But I am a person who notices patterns. So I'm gonna give you the tea on why I believe that this could be true. And also, as always, the chapters are in the description.
Your money.
So Wayne, right? He'd been on the Cash Money label since he was practically in diapers. And he pretty much decided that there wasn't enough hugs and kisses to keep him away from his a milli. And why is that? Because Birdman, the head honcho, his daddy, decided to sit on Wayne's The Carter 5 album like a dragon hoarding treasure. Now, years had went by and fans was like, dude, Wayne, where's the album? And Wayne was like, I'm still waiting too. Y'all know how Wayne sound. And Birdman was like, what album, punk? Never heard of it. And even after sitting on his album, Birdman still owed him millions that Lil Wayne was supposed to use for, I don't know, solid gold skateboards and more face tattoos. You know, you could never have enough of them. But naturally, Wayne sued for $51 million, because why not? Eventually they settled, but Wayne got his cash and dropped the Carter 5, and the lesson was learned. Now, if you want your millions, don't sign with a guy named after a bird. I'm just saying. Now, Wayne tweeted about this, and he had this to say: "To all my fans, I want you to know that my album won't and hasn't been released because Baby and Cash Money Records refused to release it." Then he goes on to say, "This is not my fault. I am truly and deeply sorry to all my fans, but most of all to myself and my family for putting us in this situation. I want off this label and nothing to do with these people, but unfortunately it ain't that easy." Then he goes on to finally say, "I am a prisoner and so is my creativity. Again, I am truly sorry and I don't blame you if you're fed up with waiting for me and this album, but thank you."
Court documents reveal that Wayne has been fighting with his label for years. Lil Wayne signed to Cash Money in November 1998, but he renegotiated his deal several times. First in January 2005, 6 months after the Carter, where Wayne agreed to making additional albums for a higher royalty rate. Then again in July 2006, 7 months after the Carter 2, where Wayne was promised higher advances in exchange for doing duet albums, which explains why this album hit shelves 3 months later. In June 2008, the same month the Carter 3 dropped, everyone agreed that the Carter 3 completed Wayne's original 1998 contract, and Wayne would now owe 4 solo albums and 1 duet album. But less than a year later, in April 2009, Wayne once again renegotiated his contract, and Cash Money agreed to pay a $10 million advance for his solo albums, $8 million when he started recording, and $2 million once he was done. Again, according to the documents, Wayne submitted the Carter 5 to Cash Money last December. However, not only did Cash Money refuse to pay him $2 million for completing the album, they've only paid from 2 of the initial $8 million they owed him. In other words, Cash Money owes Wayne $8 million for the Carter 5 alone. But this case goes beyond Wayne's solo career. There's also Wayne's imprint, Young Money. In February 2003, Cash Money agreed to launch Young Money, with Wayne owning 49% and Cash Money owning 51%. In what might be the most devious allegation against Cash Money in this lawsuit, Wayne claims Cash Money didn't actually split the copyright. Instead, they registered the copyright for Young Money only under Cash Money, cutting Wayne out completely. In 2008, Wayne and Cash Money extended their Young Money venture another 5 years, with Cash Money agreeing to pay Wayne Young Money profits on a monthly basis and keep $1 million at all times to pay Young Money recording expenses and overhead. In 2009, they extended the venture until June 2015, with Cash Money promising to pay $200,000 a quarter for Young Money's overhead. This Young Money deal becomes all the more important because in June 2009, Young Money signed Drake and agreed that Wayne would get a third of the profits Drake generated. It turns out Cash Money has failed to provide a single accounting in respect to the exploitation of Drake's recordings, which means Wayne has no idea how much he's actually owed for Drake's massive success.
All right now, so let's clock the T and start connecting some dots here. So even though they went ahead and settled with Lil Wayne for an undisclosed amount and he won, there was still some hard feelings around that. Secondly, he still doesn't know how much he really is owed for Drake. Thirdly, we're going to look at how labels aspire to not pay artists what they are owed. And also keep in mind, Lil Wayne sued UMG for $40 million and won. Okay, so let's talk about JoJo. You guys remember her, right? She gave us classics like Get Out.
Hey, get out right now. It's the end of you.
And she made that, she had to be about, I don't know, 12. So basically, JoJo became the soundtrack of every early 2000s breakup, and then she just vanished. Poof, gone. Well, why did she vanish? You might ask. I'm so glad that you did ask. It's because of her label, Blackground Records. The evil Blackground Records. If you guys know anything about them, they are the label that Aaliyah was on.
And she was just so damn perfect, fierce, understated, yet powerful. Passion it's done. Sweat beats fill me, Cupid shot me, heartbeats climbing, taste me, eat me. There's still no separating. Morning massages, new bones in your closet. I'll be more than a lover, more than a woman, more than your lover. I'll be more. So good.
The darling Aaliyah. Now, they decided to just go on a decade-long vacation. They stopped releasing her music, stopped promoting her, and basically locked her in a basement somewhere and say, yeah, you'll get your career back eventually. Now, imagine signing a deal at 13, then spending your entire prime years in pop music purgatory. Fun, right? So what did JoJo do? She went full legal ninja and finally got out of her contract years later. And how did she celebrate? By re-recording her old music. Yep, the classics you know and love. She did them again just to stick it to her old label. Now, last but certainly not least in my examples of how these labels move, in 2014, Kesha dropped a bombshell lawsuit against her producer, Dr. Luke. While not necessarily a label, the association is there. And as we can tell with the recent allegations of other notable music moguls, this seems to be a pattern within the industry. So Kesha ended up accusing him, Dr. Luke, of abuse, physical and emotional, and everything in between. She also wanted out of her deal with them and her label, which was under SONY. SONY, you remember SONY? Mariah Carey had some issues with SONY back in the day due to her ex-husband, Tommy. And in classic music industry fashion, instead of resolving it quickly, everyone got lawyered up and it got dragged out, and it was like the worst reality show, worse than Love and Hip Hop, all 97 seasons, swear to God. Now, do you want justice, or would you like to stay under contract with a guy you're accusing of abuse? What is it going to be, Kesha? Now, for years, Kesha fought tooth and nail, not only for her career, but for her freedom. Freedom! Fans railed, celebrities got involved, there were hashtags, baby. Eventually, Kesha released music again through under another label, but with a different vibe. Gone were the days of brushing her teeth with Jack and Daniels. Now she was singing about healing and rising up. It was like Phoenix Rising kind of vibes, you know? And because of what? She was a warrior.
Don't think about it too much.
So yeah, the music industry is basically a soap opera wrapped in glitter, auto tunes, and lawsuits. That's what you can come to expect when you hear about the industry. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about UMG, Drake, and why I believe they are sabotaging him. Now, why would UMG drop a $400 million deal on Drake? It's simple, because he is a hit maker. Now, regardless of how you feel about him, basically culture vulturing and or pretty much lip syncing to other people's lyrics, it matters not. The hits kept rolling out. And so they dropped a bag on Drake. They dropped a bag to keep him in the fold, to keep him under the control of the machine. But you know who has major ties with UMG? Jay-Z. And with two giants under one roof, could we be headed for a Royal Rumble? Right? Now, everyone keeps talking about how Drake bailed on the title deal for Jay-Z, and how this may be the reason why he is smiting him as it relates to the Super Bowl and choosing Kendrick Lamar. Now, Kendrick Lamar and Lil Wayne, to me, they're just pawns in a bigger scheme of things. I think UMG don't want to pay Drake that money. Now, not only does UMG handle the distribution of Jay-Z's music, but they also handle Roc Nation artists. So we're talking about a music empire here. Ho's got his hands in everything from artist management to touring, streaming, and branding. And if there's one thing we know about Jay-Z, it's that he plays chess, baby, not checkers. With Drake raking in millions under the same roof, it would make sense for UMG to keep them both golden geeses happy, right? But hold up. Jay-Z is not exactly the type to share the throne. There's only room for one king in this game. And with Drake's record-breaking success, could Jay-Z be plotting something behind the scenes? And you see, this plot could absolutely be in the best interest of UMG, because if Drake cannot fulfill his contract, they don't have to pay that money, and or they will recoup that money. And it'd be funny how them posthumous albums be coming out when you owe the label too much money and you can't fulfill it. I'm just saying. Now, let's not forget that Jay-Z and Drake have their fair share of tense moments. Remember Drake's track Summer 16, where he called out Jay and he said, "I used to want to be on Rockefeller, then I turned into Jay"? Drake has basically positioned himself as the new Jay-Z, a mogul who's crossed over from just being an artist to a global business figure. And let's be real, that's gotta rub Ho the wrong way. The two have exchanged constant jabs over the years, with Jay-Z throwing some slick bars Drake's way and Drake constantly aiming to position himself as the next generation's Jay-Z. Now add a $400 million deal into the mix, and Jay-Z might be looking at Drake like, is this kid trying to outdo me on my own label? And I'm gonna say, sure, it probably sounds a little wild, but in the cutthroat world of music, anything is possible. And with $400 million on the line, I'd keep an eye on Drake's career trajectory and one eye on Hov's next chess move. And I'll end with this. Perhaps the throne is not big enough for two. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, share, and let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Do you think that Jay-Z and UMG are conspiring against Drake?